Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, 9 games in the NBA, 2 in the NHL. I've moved on, I believe, nothing so far. Yes, the closest I have for games is Sunday games for the NFL. I've moved on both Sunday games, but. Got nothing so far today. We'll cap the whole, or we'll go through the whole card. Be adding stuff obviously there, but we'll quickly recap yesterday, where it was a really strong day. Starting with college basketball, App State minus 4.5 was a winner. Fairfield minus 105 was a winner. Kennesaw State even money was a winner. St. Peter's comes up short. They lose 56-51. They played who they play? They played Marist in that game there. Southern Indiana gets the job done on the money line there, minus 115. Santa Barbara minus 5. They won on a buzzer beater, but they did not cover the minus 5. And depending on the number you got with Irvine, you either won or pushed. I got 19.5 on Caesars. I got the dub on that one with the Anteaters. So really strong day in college hoops. In the NBA, not great. Pistons minus 2.5 was a loser. Portland plus 7 was a loser. Sacramento minus 3.5 was a winner, though. So 1 and 2 in the NBA yesterday. Hockey is where it was really strong. It started off with a plus 205 winner on Detroit. The Red Wings get the job done over the Florida Panthers 5-2. Nice plus 205 winner for them there. Over 5.5 with Toronto and New Jersey. That was a winner. I got hit a little bit with the double loser as I had Ottawa in the over, and the game finished 0-0 in regulation, 1-0 Washington in overtime. That was fun. So double loser there. But the over 6, Anaheim and Tampa Bay got the job done. If you guys took the puck line for Anaheim, you got the job done. Unfortunately, they did not get the job done in overtime as like plus 250 underdogs. But I didn't have that, so luckily there. Over 5.5, Islanders and Flyers, that came through. Blues minus 1 was a winner. They win 4-1 over the Flames. My other big casher, plus 205, Les Habitants. This team is hot right now, the Habs. And I think this is a team you should probably be riding as a dog until further notice. Over 5.5 with Winnipeg. Seattle does not come through there. Utah minus 105 was a loser as well at the end of the night. But overall, really strong night up, 5.70 units. Won't ever complain about that. And ready to get into today's card.
Oh, yeah. And real quick for the site yesterday, up 6.6. Losers were, I know, I took a shot at the early game just to have a little bit of fun. I took the over, and NJIT scored 44 points, so it did not get there. You're a double Ottawa loser. St. Peter's was a loser. The over in Winnipeg was a loser. Utah. Portland didn't get there. And UC Santa Barbara didn't get there. We got a 20 on Irvine on the site, so we pushed. Okay. Winners yesterday, you mentioned your Red Wings bet and the over in that Devils game. The over in Anaheim. I'm going to save that one for last because I want to kind of poke at somebody. App State was a winner. Fairfield was a winner. Kennesaw State was a winner. Our favorite, what are they, CUSA? Our favorite CUSA team. Over in the Islanders game. How about them Thunder? 20-point win at home versus Cleveland. St. Louis minus 1 was a winner. Habs were a winner. Southern Indiana was a winner. How about the Sacramento Kings getting the job done? That was nice to see. And then the big one for me, the one that I had the most fun with, because somebody in the beginning of the fourth quarter went, man, great call on the Wizards. Wizards have proceeded to outscore the Suns by 14 in the fourth quarter to cover the spread. So thank you, Mr. Numbers, for the reverse jinx. I appreciate it. Not all heroes wear capes. But it ended up being a really, really good day. I believe that's two winning days in a row. Let's make it 3, Nick.
Yep. Head over to the chat, and then we'll get into today's card.
We got Dad saying good morning, and Markel saying good morning. All right, let's jump into the card, Nick.
Yeah, let's get into it here. I was trying to just quickly monetize the stream. Let's get into it, though. We'll kick it on off. The Boston Celtics are 13-point favorites against the Orlando Magic. This line's moved ever since I even typed up the line. Line opened up at a 12.5, went up to a 13.5. Now we're looking at 14. So we have the Celtics minus the 2 touchdowns there. Total opened up at a 210.5. It's now 212.5. So a line moved towards the Celtics and a line moved towards the over in this one here. Let me switch from NFL to NBA for Action Network because I was looking over the NFL games for Sunday. Those are some fun ones there for that. But we'll quickly look at what these two teams have done as of late. Orlando's still 5th in the East. This probably just shows how bad the East is. They're coming in off of a blowout loss, 122-93 against the Milwaukee Bucks. On the flip side, Boston's coming in off of what? They were 14-point favorites and lost outright by 13 against Toronto. What? How did I miss this? Yeah. And the line's gone from 12.5 to 14, obviously expecting the Boston Celtics to bounce back. 57% of the tickets, 68% of the cash is on the Celtics. And it feels like we've been saying this for a little while now. The last couple of games, got to be a bounce back, got to be a bounce back, got to be a bounce back. It's got to be a bounce back, right? It feels like one. They're playing a beat-up Orlando Magic team. The line's moving towards them. The sharp money's on them. It's Celtics or nothing for me if I'm looking to play this game. But I don't know if we can trust this team laying this many points. So maybe it's a team total over. Maybe that's the direction we should be going in this game, rather than asking them to cover a big number, ask them to score some points. That's why it's just a lean for me at the moment. I would only look Celtics and Celtics team total. 91% of tickets, 96% of cash on the over, though. At least the line's moving towards the over. But it would be Celtics or no bet for me.
I'm figuring something out real quick. The Celtics have been favorited by double digits. Let me just make sure all those are double digits. Yep. 25 times this year. They have covered in 11 of those. They're 11-14 as double-digit spread favorites.
What are those after a loss, though?
In terms of wins after a loss or covers after a double-digit loss?
Or a loss in general?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's not. That one is. That one's not. That one is. That one's not. Yes, I understand you're thinking of it. Most of those, I think 8 out of the 11 were after a loss. But at the same time, I am going to go take the Orlando Magic today. And you look at it, the last 3 times that the Celtics have been double-digit favorites in the last 3 games. A loss by 17, a win by 1, a loss by 13. Is this a team that you really want to be betting right now? I don't care how beat up the Magic are right now. I grabbed the Magic plus 13. And actually, I don't think the Magic are all that beat up right now. Let me pull up. Just the normal players. No, nothing of significance. Suggs is out due to a back injury, but other than that, it's just bench guys. No, I'm not really worried about it right now. I think I'm taking the Magic here. This is a Celtics team that's dog shit against the spread.
Fair. This is a spot I wanted to go to the Celtics because this is usually a spot that I do back the Celtics.
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, I can't.
I'm going to go with their team total over. This was a spot I was looking at, and it's 113 minus 110 over on FanDuel. I'm going to do that instead of asking them to cover 14 points. I'm going to ask them to score 114.
Okay. I guess the Celtics finally cover a big spread for once. Yeah, sure. No. Hell no, I'm not catching a falling knife. Yeah, you shouldn't. Celtics smash. What's up, Nicholas Handy? And suppness to Lex. Let's keep on rolling.
Yeah. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the New York Knicks. We have the Knicks 4.5-point favorites, total of 218.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. Where this line opened up at a 3.5, it's now 4.5. Line opened up at a 221, it's now 218. So we've moved towards the New York Knicks. We've moved towards the under in this game as well. We have 66% of tickets and 73% of the cash on the Knicks. At least the line's moving towards them for those who want to back them. 94% of tickets, 74% of cash on the over in this one as well. The line's dropping, which does make the under pretty appealing in this game. Now I need to take a look back to see how my totals have really done in the NBA this year, because I feel like totals are not something I've attacked too much in the NBA. Totals, I'm 10-9. And I'm about break even in the NBA this year. All right. This feels like an under. It does. But whether or not I get involved with it's another story. It'd be Knicks or nothing, under or nothing, and probably nothing for me in this one. Both these teams have been a little bit more of over teams as of late. The Timberwolves have gone over in 3 straight, 7 of their last 10. So ultimately, no play here for me, but it would be Knicks and the under if I'm betting anything.
I am going to be on New York. This is a Minnesota team that I think is just way too overvalued, in my opinion. And this is a Minnesota team that they're 2 games over 500. Coming from a team that made the Western Conference Finals last year, this team has had a down year. I wish somebody predicted that one. Oh, wait. No, but this is also a Knicks team that I was kind of high on coming into the year. They're 12 games over 500. I'm gonna be taking the Knicks here minus 4.5. It's more of a fate of Minnesota, because I just don't think they're a good team. I think the trade that sent Rudy Gobert, Cat to the Knicks. Yeah, I don't think that was a good trade for Minnesota. I would have stuck with personally. I would have probably stuck with keeping Cat in Minnesota, but that's just me. But this is a New York Knicks spot for me.
Fair.
Magic team total under. Celtics win by 18. Julius Randle points over. Knicks money line. Can you not lay a crap ton of points? I think that's kind of stupid, but that's just me. Double up Knicks first half full game. I like that idea.
Well, a Knicks double result could be interesting.
Could be. This game could be not interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting spot though. We have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors. The Bucks are opened up at an 11, still 11. Line opened up at a 231. It's still a 231. So we've seen really no line movement in this game whatsoever. Taking a look at the cash flow, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty split. 59% of tickets, 65% of cash on the Bucks. So not overly public, because I consider public like 65% or higher type of for tickets. 74% of tickets, 69% of cash is on the over here as well. We have the Toronto Raptors coming in off of a very satisfying win. How about a double-digit win as a double-digit dog in your last game against the Boston Celtics? And now you have to travel to Milwaukee. who are coming in off of a nice win themselves. They won 122-93 against Orlando. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and they've won 5, or out of those 5 wins, 4 of them have been by double digits. So maybe this is a Bucks team we can trust to lay points a little bit as of late. And I think this is an awesome situation for a fade of the Toronto Raptors more than a backing of the Milwaukee Bucks in this spot, because we have the Raptors coming in probably feeling as good as you can, back-to-back wins as dogs against Boston and Golden State. Like, I would feel pretty good if I'm the Raptors right now, and now you have to hit the road where they've struggled, where they've struggled this year, 1-18. Why are we not on the Milwaukee Bucks in this game is kind of one thing that I'm like thinking about. I think this is a smash and grab spot for Milwaukee.
Yeah, you want to know the reason why I'm not on them?
Why?
I don't lay double digits on them. I don't lay double digits, and I'm not going to do it with the Milwaukee team that I've been fading all year. I feel like that's kind of hypocritical. So I'm personally not going to. I'm not going to blame you if you wanted to, but for me, I'd rather just stay off this game than go and try to bet on the Bucks here. So this one's just a stay off spot for me.
Fair. Yeah, it's one that I'm kind of interested in. And I kind of want to see this market mature a little bit more because it's not moved. And maybe that's something that maybe that's a little telling, but maybe that's just me though.
Could be, but I'm not gonna mess with this one. Timber Cubs win a slaughter game and kills everyone's Knicks money line tickets. Who's betting the Knicks at the money line at like minus 200? It's stupid. Give me Bucks 11+. So them to cover the spread. Raptors plus 11. Raptors money line first quarter. Knicks minus 3.5 grabbed last night. Nice. Bucks have been turning it around. That still doesn't mean I'm going to lay 11.5 points on them.
Fair. How about ready, Tim? You don't want to lay 11.5 points on the Bucks. How about 11?
Ooh.
11.5 points on the Pelicans. Am I good?
I think it's me. My Wi-Fi has been kind of shit the past couple days. Can you hear me?
So is mine. So,
okay.
Yep, here we go. We have the New Orleans Pelicans opened up as 10-point favorites, 10-point favorites, now all the way up to 11.5. Line opened up 228. Now it's 230. Who would have thought the Pelicans would be minus 11 this season at all? And that's the state we're in right now, though. 53% of tickets, 55% of the cash is on the Jazz. 82% of tickets, 83% of cash on the over in this one as well. And the line moving towards the Jazz, or the line moving towards the Pelicans in this game here. I think this was probably the easiest pass game on the card. All of a sudden, the New Orleans Pelicans, and unfortunately, I did not end up pulling the trigger on, what do you call it? I did not pull the trigger on the over win total for the New Orleans Pelicans at 21.5. And since I mentioned that, they're 2-0. So now they would need 12 more wins, and I think this is another one right here. They get the win. Obviously, they're 11.5 point favorites. Am I getting involved in this game? No, not at all. So this is a pass for me. I mean, have fun if you want to lay this type of number with the Pelicans.
No, this is a 1-800-GAMBLER game and move on. It makes sense that they're that big of favorites, and the only reason why is they're finally healthy. They won 3 out of 4 in the one game they lost. They were 14-point dog, and they lost by 1. So the Pelicans have been looking better as of late. I mean, way too late because they're not going to make the playoffs. But, I mean, that's not entirely true. You never know. It's the NBA. How far out are they? Just out of curiosity. I don't really look at standings all that often.
They're 10-32. How fucking far out are they?
11 games. Okay, never mind. But you never know. To be fair, they could go on a nice run, but no, that's a little far out. I think they might have a shot to not be the worst team in the West. But no, that doesn't really say much.
Playoffs. Okay.
I mean, it's play-ins. You never know. But no, I'm not. Trust me, I'm joking. I'm not doing that. This one's a 100% pass for me.
Fair. I'll look it up. What their odds to make plans are.
No, let's not. Let's not waste time. I think the Bucks can cover first half. I guess Nick died for a second. Oh,
yeah, it was scary.
Pelicans all the way to the bank. Fuck that. Pass. Lean Pellies. Pellies pretty healthy. Pelicans team total under 121.5. That's interesting. It's not a bad line. No, dude, I was joking. I do not actually believe the Pelicans have a shot at making the playoffs. Please don't take that seriously. Let's head to this game, Nick.
Yeah. And one thing I was just for shits and giggles punching it in on a bet stamp to see what it would be on BetMGM. How many people do you think will have this bet? It's -128. Boston, New Orleans, Milwaukee, Lakers moneyline parlay.
Probably a bunch. Someone's got to ruin it, right?
Yeah.
Some of them no, the Magic are going to ruin it.
Yeah. By the way, I was just looking it up on this would probably find. All right. I found odds, Tim, to participate in the play-in tournament. 150-1 New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, no, I was joking. Please don't take that seriously.
I just wanted to throw that out there. They would just need to go on like a 30-4 run or something like that. They'll be fine.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. But we'll move on. The Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. The Heat are 1-point favorites in this game, total of 226. Line opened up at a 3, down to a 2.5, down to a 2, down to a 1. So we've had a move towards Denver in this game. Line opened up 224. It's now 226. A move towards the over here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow, and yeah, it depends on what you're really looking at in this game. This is what makes sometimes market reading feel very difficult, because when you're dealing with a spread like this, if you want to call it a spread with a 1-point spread, line opened up at around -130. It's now down to a 113 for Miami. When you look at the betting splits, 75% of the tickets, 72% of the cash on the Denver Nuggets spread, but 32% of the tickets, 65% of cash on the money line. So sharp on the money line, but public on the spread. That confuses me sometimes with these tight spreads. I look at just the money lines is kind of the way I would look at it. 83% of tickets, 81% of cash is on the over here as well. The fact that this line's moving towards Denver makes it kind of interesting. And this is a matchup the Denver Nuggets have owned. They've won 6 straight and 9 of the last 10 against the Miami Heat, that does include their 5-game series a couple years ago for the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets are coming in off of an embarrassing loss, 128-108, and Miami is coming in off of a loss, but this is their first game back after a road trip. They had a day off, but they were in Sacramento, Golden State, Utah, Portland, LA, and now they head back to Miami on 1 day's rest. How is this not a Denver Nuggets spot? I think that everything kind of correlates here to back the Nuggets. I faded them last game. I think I'm going to back them this game.
Hold on. Before you go and pull any triggers, Aaron Gordon, Joker, and Murray are all questionable. Murray's probable. The other 2 are questionable. So keep an eye on the injury report before you pull the trigger on anything. Fair?
I want the Denver Nuggets. I'm going to write that down. Nuggets with a question mark.
I mean, I would lean Nuggets too. You know how many times we've seen how many times we've seen the Heat at a small line and think it's a trap spot and ends up not being. And I'm pretty sure I can get some plus money for the Heat for the Nuggets right now.
Even money.
You know what? I'm going to end up jumping on that.
I am too. I'm gonna take the Nuggets here just right now, and even money. I can care less about the injury report. And if anything, if any of them get ruled out and I can get like a +2.5, +3 with Denver again, I'll bet it. I'll put an extra half unit on it or something like that. I'll add to my Denver exposure because I think situationally, more than anything, this is a good spot for the Nuggets. I think this is a terrible scheduling spot for the Heat. We have the Nuggets off the embarrassing loss. No, this is just everything correlates for me to go ahead and pull the trigger. Nuggets, even money for me over on Bet365.
Yeah, I just went and pulled the trigger on it too. I was looking at some of the numbers for the even if the players are out. I'm not overly worried about it because it feels like half the Heat team doesn't even want to be there right now. So, and not to mention, this is a Nuggets team that's kind of owned the Heat the last 3 years. Yeah, yep. 9-1. They've won 9 out of their last 10. The only time in the last since December 30th of 2022 that the Miami Heat won was June 4th, 2023, and I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, that was game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Yep.
So this is a Nuggets team that's kind of owned the series as of late. Even if there's an injury report, I don't really care. Give me the Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. I think this is an awesome spot for Denver.
There you go. Everyone gets injured on the West. There we go. No, I no. Denver money line, yes. Knicks about to ruin that parlay. Nah. How about the Nets ruin it? That would be crazy if the Nets actually ruin that parlay.
Are the Nets the most disgusting play on the card?
I might have to look at that game because what did their last game look like?
Yeah.
Heat money line. No, thank you. Nuggets all day. Do the Nuggets even care about this game?
Yeah, I think them getting blown out by 20 points is it last game is an eye opener.
Keep in mind, Gordon and Joker both got ruled out last game, so I don't know. Revenge spot for Butler, nah. Heat money line, nah. This the NBA, it traps everyone. Yeah, how many times have we seen the Miami Heat as a 1-point favorite or a pick 'em or something in a game they shouldn't be, and then they get blown out? I'm not going to buy into it. You know, Denver defense been shaky lately.
Yeah,
they gave up 128 last game without Gordon. Gordon's in the lineup, 99, 101, 105, 103. Gordon's a big key to this defense, and when he's in, they're slowing down their opponents.
Now, when he's in, that's when you want to look at unders.
Correct. Heat team total under, yes. Jazz +11. All right, Nick, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, we have the Charlotte Hornets and the Chicago Bulls. Bulls -4.5, total 235 in this one here. Line opened up at a 5, it's down to a 4.5. Line opened up at a 232, it's now a 235.5. So we have a move towards the over. We have a slight move towards the Hornets. 73% of tickets, 70% of the cash is on the Bulls, and the line's gone from a 5 down to a 4.5. So interesting line movement there. And then we have 55% of the tickets are on the over, but 53% of the cash is on the under in this game here. I think this is just this is an interesting matchup when you look at total perspective, because it's a clash of one of the lower scoring teams in the league and one of the higher scoring teams in the league. Granted, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that when both these teams have a positive record towards the under this year. But when you look at the Bulls, they're having totals in the 240s. And when you look at the Hornets, they're having totals in the mid to high 220s and with occasional mid 2 teens. And now we're seeing, I have to go back. I think this may be the highest total of a Charlotte Hornet game all year at 235.5.
I don't think so.
Let's see. They had 233 earlier in the year against Boston. They did have a 235.5 against the Pacers. Other than that, all the other games, this is tied for the highest total in a Hornets game this year. I would lean under. Right now, and I would lean Hornets. I think the Hornets are probably the side in this spot where we have the line moving towards the Hornets from 5 to 4.5, even though even though the public's on the Bulls. I think this is Hornets, which one thing that does concern me, though, 8 straight wins and covers for the Chicago Bulls against the Charlotte Hornets. 8 straight. 9 of the last 10. So this has been a team that has owned the Hornets. And they're coming in off of 3 straight losses. This is a team they can beat. Ultimately, I want the Hornets in this spot. I don't think I'm pulling the trigger on it, though.
I'm not. I don't feel the need to. This is 2 teams that go separately in totals, and I'm not going to be in the business of laying points on the Bulls. Just not something I'm interested in doing, so not something I'm going to go and do. And not to mention there's a Bulls team that's lost 3 straight games in 4 out of 5. Their only win was against Washington with D-do. So no, not anything I need to get involved in. Good luck to anybody who does. 1-800-GAMBLER more likely for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Gun to my head, Bulls here. But luckily for you, well, I can't really 100% speak. There shouldn't be a gun to your head, so you should be fine. Hornets plus 4.5. Bulls team total over. Bulls team total under. Love it. I will be involved in at least 2 out of the last 3 games, Nick, because I am going to do something a little bit bold for the last game.
Yeah, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. The Thunder 8-point favorites, total 224. Line opened up at a 6. It's all the way up to an 8.5 now. So we have a 2.5-point line movement towards the Thunder in this game. Line opened up 221. It's now 224. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 81% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the Thunder, and the lines move towards them. 93% of tickets, 95% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. And the line has at least moved towards the over for people who would like to back the over in this game. And we have the Dallas Mavericks. They're coming in on 3 straight losses, including their last game, 119-116 against the New Orleans Pelicans. It was the 3rd game in 4 nights, and the second half of a back-to-back for them now there. Now they had a day off, and then they get right back in action today. This is also the 3rd game in 4 days, and the second half of a back-to-back for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Why the lines moved 2.5 points in the Thunder's direction confuses me. This is Dallas or nothing. And I actually kind of understand why the line's moving, because everybody's on the Thunder here, it looks like. 81% of tickets, 88% of the cash. Ultimately, I don't want to get involved with this one, but maybe this is a spot where you wait, because we've seen a pretty swift movement towards the Oklahoma City Thunder here. I think this is a spot where you can sit back and wait and maybe get a 10 later in the day with the Mavericks. I think this is a spot where if you're patient enough, you can get the best number for the Mavericks. I think that's what I'm ultimately going to want to do, is I'm just going to sit back and see if they'll give me a 9.5 or a 10 later on in the day. So I'll just leave this as a lean at the moment, with a potential where I'll have it circled. I'll have it written down and throw my pen on the floor, have it written down and circled to come back to this later in the day and see if this has hit a 9.5 or a 10.
I took the 8.5. I'm happy I didn't bet it last night when I did the 3-pick video, because it was at a 6 last night. So at least I've kind of gotten the better of it now. I'm getting an 8.5. I wouldn't be surprised, and I know this might sound a little bit crazy. considering the current track record of the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the Mavericks won this game outright, that's what I'm kind of looking at is can Dallas win this game outright? And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. I really don't. I got them plus 8.5. And I think there's a genuine chance that I might sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
Fair.
There you go. Dallas plus 8. Team total under for the Thunder. Kyrie's over 25 points. Letdown spot for Oklahoma City after yesterday. I'm leading under. Right there with you. This one should be fun, Nick.
San Antonio Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies. We have the Grizzlies 2.5-point favorites, total of 238.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. The line opened up at a 3. It's down to a 2.5. So we do have a move towards the Spurs in this one here. Line opened up at a 241.5. It's now down to a 238.5. If you feel like these two teams just played each other, well, they did. 2 days ago was 129 to 115 win for the Memphis Grizzlies. And that was in San Antonio, and we stay in San Antonio for this one. 75% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on the Grizzlies, 83% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the money line for the Grizzlies, 67% of the tickets, 61% of the cash on the over in this one here. This is Spurs, right? This is a Spurs spot, I feel. And I'm going to get involved with San Antonio in this spot. I can get plus 2.5, minus 105 over on ESPN Bet. I'm going to take the points here with San Antonio.
I'm going to leave the points at the door. And I'm just going to take their money line. I can get plus 128. Classic. I think it's difficult to beat the same team twice in a row, especially both times on the road. And we just saw Memphis win the first game, so automatically, well, not automatically, but I'm taking them. I'm taking the Spurs in the second game. So hard to beat the same team twice. Sign me up for the Spurs money line.
Yep, I'm on board there with you. I have a feeling I might get involved with the last game too, but that'll be that's now 3 plays for me, probably 4 in the NBA.
Oh, I have a bunch.
Not including a potential bet on the Dallas Mavericks at 9.5 or 10.
And I'm gonna have something fun for the last game. Wemby blocks. Grizzly team total under. All right, Nick.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
And do you like it?
And I think that I'm gonna join you, but not on the big score.
Oh, come on. You have to.
Do I though?
You don't have
Let's
to.
get into it. We have the Brooklyn Nets taking on the LA Lakers. We have the Lakers as 10.5-point favorites. This line opened up at a 12. It's now down to a 10.5. Line opened up at a 219. It's down to a 216.5. So we have a move towards the under. We have a move towards these Nets. 73% of tickets, 78% of the cash on the Lakers. And the line's moving towards the Nets. 91% of tickets, 92% of the cash is on these on the over in this one as well. Let's take a look at what we've seen last from these two teams. The Lakers are coming in off of a 117 to 108 win over the Miami Heat. It was a nice little bounce back after getting blown out by the San Antonio Spurs in their previous game and snapped a 3-game losing streak for them. On the flip side, we have the Brooklyn Nets, who I don't think they knew they were playing that last game against the Clippers. They lost 126 to 67. They've now lost 3 out of 4 so far on their road trip. They play the Lakers tonight. They play OKC on the 19th before they head back home to Brooklyn to play the Knicks. This is Nets spread for me. I think that's pretty simple. The market loves the spot. I like the spot. You're coming in off of probably the most embarrassing loss of the season. If you're the Brooklyn Nets, I can get 11.5 minus 115 over on ESPN Bet. Sign me up for Brooklyn plus all the points today.
All right. Here's the deal. coming off of a 126-67 loss. What would be the best thing that happens in tonight's game? How about Brooklyn outright? Plus 440. Give me the Brooklyn Nets on the money line. I'm probably going to end up doubling up on this game, plus the 11 too, just because if they cover, at least I kind of break even. But I want to take the shot with them to win outright. And everybody's talking about, the Nets are going to be the parlay breakers. Well, normally, the team that kills the parlay normally happens towards the end of the night. How about the absolute last game of the night?
Where everybody's trying to play get back with the Lakers spread and the Laker money line on all their parlays.
Exactly. I went and this is gross. I doubled up on it on the site. Plus 11.5 and plus 440 on the money line. Let's go for the big score today, Nick.
I will be very interested in this game now.
Spurs. Come on, Nick. Classic late night special. And everyone's going to be waiting for that Lakers money line. Team LeBron and Juan, what's up, dude? Welcome back. Bulls -4 and Randall over points. Matt Markel knows already what's going down. And I'm going to make a tweet for it now while you talk about some shitty hockey team.
Yeah, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins playing tonight. They're taking on the Buffalo Sabres. -135 for Buffalo in this game. Total of 6 in this one. My projections have Buffalo as a favorite in this game around the -120 price tag. And then I have this game projected for 6.4 goals. I see more value in the second game we'll talk about than we will in the first game here. The fact that the Buffalo Sabres are chalk, though, is interesting. And I agree they should be chalk. Maybe not as heavy chalk, but I also have my numbers have no value on the Penguins in this game either. Penguins are coming off of 3 straight losses, and they've lost 8 of their last 10 games. They have received points. In 5 of those games, though, because 3 of them were overtime losses. On the flip side, the Buffalo Sabres are all of a sudden red hot. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Their only loss was that ugly game against Seattle, but they're playing better hockey as of late. They've won 6 of their last 10. And it's a team that how far are they behind 7th in the okay, never mind. They're 7 points behind the Red Wings for 7th in the Met, or 7th in the Atlantic. So there's that. But yeah, this is a spot where I'm not laying it with Buffalo. I'm not taking Pittsburgh either, though. It'd be a small lean towards an over in this game if I'm getting involved with it, but I will be on the other game for sure.
Yeah, I'm not laying chalk with the Sabres. I might go and steal something from somebody. Maybe go and if you're gonna take the Sabres money line, maybe add like a Dahlin point or a Dahlin assist in there to try to get it a little bit better. Shout out to Mr. Edelman. But all I'll say is this is a must-win game tonight. If the Sabres win tonight, they will no longer be alone on the bottom of the Eastern Conference. I'm sorry, Nick. Okay. I'm sorry. It's time for Dallas, Frank. That, and then they can get closer to trying to pass the Penguins, and then we're right back on our way up. No, I'm kidding. But ever since the 13-game losing streak, I think Buffalo's like 6-4-1. Like ever since the big losing streak, 6-4, but one of them was an overtime game. Colorado was an overtime loss, so it's 6-3-1 since the 13-game losing streak. If they continue on the 6-3-1 every 10 games, I think they're projected to get around 90 points. And
they need to do that they need to be consistent with that, though.
Correct. They would have to be 100% consistent with that. But at the same time, I could see it happening as long as Dahlin stays healthy. Dahlin is the glue to this team.
Yes.
So if he stays healthy, Sabres could possibly, if they continue the 6-3-1 run, they could possibly, move up in the Eastern Conference.
The question is, can they keep that consistency up?
That's the big question. And this is one of your must-win games. This is one of your absolute must-win games here.
Yeah, because the Penguins are a team you're chasing.
You're chasing everybody, but that's not the point.
Well, yeah. You're chasing the Islanders. That's how bad you are right now.
Yeah, that is kind of how bad we are right now. But that's beyond the point.
Fair. I will be on the next game.
Okay.
Lakers team total over. Either Lakers smash or Nets win outright. No in between.
No in between. Okay.
Spurs money line. Pittsburgh money line. What about the under 6.5? I'm seeing 6s out there. I lean over 6, but I mean it's not enough for me to pull the trigger on it. So, I would only look towards an over in this game, but that's just me though. We'll move on. Final game of the card: the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes minus 145 favorites in this game. Total of 6 in this one here. Don't think he's starting, but Frederick Anderson's been activated off the IR for the Hurricanes. So over under a week and a half before he's back on the IR because the guy cannot stay healthy at all. But I have this game projected for 6.39 goals, so it's a slight lean towards the over. If you want to maybe tie both games over 5.5 together, it's probably not a bad look. But my projections have this game Carolina minus 110. I do not think that the Vegas Golden Knights should be plus 140 over on ESPN Bet. Pretty plain and simple for me here. I'm on Vegas. I think that this is a game where Vegas is a very live underdog. They have been solid on the road this year. They're okay on the road this year, 11-6-3. Carolina has been a very dominant team at the Lenovo Center there in Raleigh. Not PNC Arena anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But for me in this spot, I mean, I'm going to be on Vegas. I think this is I think for as inconsistent as the Carolina Hurricanes have been this year, I think this is way too wide of a line for them. So I will be on the Vegas Golden Knights at plus 140 over on ESPN Bet.
And I took care of that for you. It's on the site already. At plus 140. This has been a Canes team that's just been weird. I will say they are coming off the now back-to-back losses. One of them to the Sabres, which, yikes. Sabres and the Ducks were your last 2 losses. Do you think they step up against Vegas? And then they're home with this one, and then they go to Chicago and then go to Dallas. I don't know. I would lean Vegas. Obviously, I have Cup futures on them, so I do think Vegas is obviously a good team. But I'm not sure if I can go ahead and pull the trigger on this one. I think hockey's a stay off today. I'll watch the Sabres game, or I'll try to. I'll be at work for the first 2 hours of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the card to pay attention to because there's a lot of games tomorrow.
But the Sabres don't play, so I don't care.
So there is that. We get to watch the San Jose Sharks go into Long Island and win probably. So there's that. Got some fun matchups tomorrow. Dallas and Colorado. That's a fun one. How about the Red Hot Canadians taking on the Maple Leafs tomorrow? That's a fun one. How about the Red Hot Red Wings taking on the Lightning tomorrow? It's a fun card. Fun card tomorrow.
Yeah, but today's kind of a dud, so
of
that's
course
even with my team on it.
Because the NHL likes to schedule 147 games for one day and 2 the next.
Yeah. That is everything for today. That's all the comments. We'll go ahead and head on out. But before we do, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, become a member. It's $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. You get access to the spreadsheet. You get access to the card, which is now posted. We ended up taking 2 plays in college basketball today. I took a total 2 because I was looking through it and I liked a spot. So I'm going to end up taking a total in a game 2. But we got a decent sized card on the NBA, 1 game on the NHL, ready to have a nice big day. Hopefully try to do a nice big day after yesterday's good day. But that is pretty much it. What about the over 5.5, Nick, for the Canes game?
I would lean that way, but it's a 6. So I don't know why you keep asking for lines that are not what the lines are. But yeah, of course, I would lean the over 5.5. If it was a 5.5, I'd probably be on the over.
Fair enough. That's going to do it for this one. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, you'll see Nick tomorrow. I'll be working. See you guys.